All right, how y'all doing? We are on the last leg of this little one. And I can do this video now because it's not going to go up until after she's seen him and delivered him and the whole bit. So we did all the varnish, did the nails, all done. I did the lashes on him. I'm not really totally fond of them. I think I'm going to have to trim them a little bit more because I think they're still a little too long. But I'll mess with them later. But he is so cute. So, we are talking about magnets now. Magnets are so fun. So, what we're going to do is we need to make a magnet for his passy that she gave me. Because he doesn't have, we're going to do two different ones. We're going to do a magnet and then we're going to cut one because he has an open mouth. And so he can have both. I put a magnet in here. So when you want to do a magnet, I will show you what I use. You can get whatever you want, whatever brand that you want. I try to stick close to what I have in my area so I don't have to travel an hour. And that's what I use, is what I have close. I have ordered a bunch online to put in the pacifiers. But you need a bigger or heavier magnetized magnet in the head. So when you use the, because you can only use so big on these, on the passies. So I got the smaller ones for the passies and the bigger ones for inside the head. Now these come 3-pack. You can probably get these online. I got them at my Ace Hardware. And you can use them, you can use super glue to glue them to rocks or whatever you know. You just got to be careful when you're doing a doll and you're putting magnets in. Like in the head, you can do smaller, I would still use a big one. In the top of the head, for like if it's a girl, after you're done rooting, so that you can put a bow in there. Because sometimes when you're rooting, the hair's not long enough to do that kind of stuff. So you can put a magnet on the top of his head, or her head, and in the magnet in here, glue it in. It's got to set overnight. And then, because you can use different glues. I'm not a fan of E6000. I have a hard time with it, so I don't like to use it. I use Aleene's Tacky Glue. It's all-purpose adhesive. It's dry cleared. And I got several bottles of this. You can get this at Dollar Tree for $1.25. It's a small bottle, but you can get it. When I first started out, like for the hair, I'll use this for the hair and the magnets, and I'll use a combination of hot glue. This one is the best one. It's called Beacon Gem Tack, Gemtac, and this is a permanent glue, and it's clear, it's like this one. It's non-toxic, it's washable, all that kind of stuff. I use this one for hair. When I root hair, I put it all in with a brush and go it around. I need to get more. I need to start making a list down here. And so for this purpose, we're using hot glue and tacky glue. So, and you're going to need a piece of felt. I use white because if you use dark, you'll be able to see through it in the head. And, I don't want to see through it. I don't want to see that. So I got a piece of felt. You can get this at Dollar Tree, too. Every time I go, I probably grab one or two. They're $1.20. Sometimes they'll have those particular things like 50 cents or something, whatever. This one I've had for the last 2 years. You only need a little bit, only as much as the magnet. Now, this is the big ones that I use. You can get them from Ace Hardware. I get mine from Ace Hardware. There's a 3-pack, and this is the size down here. They are kind of thick, but they are heavy duty. If I have any magnets around here, it's gonna stick. So these are the big ones I use for inside the head. For the pacifiers, I use a different one. I get these off of eBay, and for the life of me right now, I can't remember the size. Actually, I got some bigger ones in here and I got some smaller ones. These are the really thin ones that I got. See how thin those are right there? Really thin, maybe an eighth thin. And then I got these little bit bigger ones. I got these little bit bigger ones. These are heavy duty too. So it depends on the size of the pacifier. This particular guy, because of how I have to hook him on, I'm probably going to use this size. And I'm only making one. And because most of it is only because she sent me this one. If she had sent me this with the nipple on it, I would have adjusted it for it to work. So I'm not going to use the teeny tiny ones for this guy. So I'm going to put those back. We need one of these. And when you're placing these down, you want to make sure they're not anywhere where magnets are, because it will stick. And they're hard to take apart when they're stuck together. I have a hard time getting them off. That's only because my hands suck right now. So I got this little one. Okay. And what I was saying, if anybody has a pacemaker or anything like that, you can't use magnets. So when you're selling a baby, you got to specify that it has a magnet in it so that whoever's buying it will know and either ask you to take it out or they won't buy the doll. One or the other. That happened to me, and I wasn't going to take the magnet out. So I did sell the doll, but not to that person. So, okay. So when you get the big magnet, you're going to cut a square. Just a square. You're going to put a bunch of glue down on it, and you're going to put the magnet on it. You're going to put more glue on top of it. Well, what I did, this took 2 nights. The first night I would glue the magnet onto the felt so it stuck. So drying time, I just let it overnight just so that it would get a good adhere. And then the next day I gooped it up again on the top, all around on the top, to put it inside the head. So it is inside the head right there. You can see it. You can see it right there. Okay? And you want to press it around really good. Now the inside of his mouth, because he has an open mouth, so you can see, just like the eye sockets in there, it's stuck up. So you can see where to put it. Now, you want to take one of your other magnets that you're going to use and put it on the lips. He has an open mouth, so I can't put it on right here because it won't stick. So this one's going to be a fun one to do. So I stuck this on here, put him down like this on something soft, and let it dry overnight. That way the magnets don't move. They're right where I want them to be. They're not going to come undone. So now that this is all dry, it's been overnight, this magnet, I usually take a Sharpie. I don't know if my Sharpie is over here. I had one over here, then Miss Muffet comes in and takes it. You need a Sharpie so you can mark it. So it's gonna, you gotta figure out how you're gonna put it on here. So you're gonna put some hot glue right here. You know that it's stuck on here, so this part that's upward, this right here upward, that's the part that's going to get stuck to here, because the other side is the one that goes onto the mouth. So you want to make sure you do this right. So that's why I use a Sharpie. So I'm marking the one that it gets glued to the back of the passy. Get what I'm saying? Because the front of the magnet is the one that's going to stick to the mouth. So you want to make sure that you do that right. I need to go get my my Sharpie. I'll be right back. Enjoy looking at him for a minute. Okay. Got one. cramped over here because, oh, Ariel's crap that she doesn't play with anymore. I just need to go through it and get rid of it so I can have this room back. I'm going to have to put one of the dolls in here or something. I don't know. So anyway, here's the marker. I'm just going to put a mark on here. And that's going to be the one that I glue to here. So I know that that's going there. I think my glue gun is ready. I'm going to put a little bit of tacky glue on it first. We do not want this coming off, ever. So I'm going to put a little daub of glue right there. One, it's going to hold it in place while I do this. I'm going to take the hot glue gun and I'm just going to go around the little circle here. And then I'm going to take the magnet with the marker side down. And because he has to be down here, you want it to look right. So I'm actually not going to put it in the middle. I'm actually going to put it down a little bit so that it'll place right on his head. Now I don't want to get glue on here, so I'm going to cut a piece of this felt. And I usually make it round. I'll make it round before I put it on here so that you can't see it. So just take your little scissors or whatever you got and I cut a circle. And you can measure. I actually have done these pacifiers before. So then you're going to hot glue a little bit on there. See, it fits perfect in there. You're going to put a little hot glue right here. And if you don't have a hot glue gun, you can use the tacky glue. I'm not going to use the tacky glue. I'm just going to hook this on. And I press it all the way around. So it's perfect in there. You'll see a little bit of it on the other side, but not much. And there we go. See where I placed it down towards the bottom here? Because the magnet I know is on his bottom lip. And it fits perfect with him. So there's his little magnifier one. Okay, so that one's done. So we didn't use this one, so we need to put this back in the box. I do have E6000, but I don't like using it. It takes forever to dry, and I'm just not a fan. A lot of people like it. Kudos for you. I do not. I am not a fan. So we are done with the felt, and you do that to as many as you want to make. Now she knows how the magnet's going to be. So now when she makes her own, she can get the magnets. She can push it here and do the same thing. If you buy a baby and it has a magnet and you want your own passy, say it was a boy, all you got's boy stuff, you want to make girls ones, the magnet's already in here. So take your other magnet, your new magnet, stick it right there, take your marker, make a mark on it, because that's the one that's going to get glued on to the passy. So the part of it that is magnetized to the mouth is going to be what's popped out. So otherwise you're going to get that weird thing. It's not going to be right. So that one is done. Now we're going to do his other one. Now this one has this kind of nipple on it, and it's too fat to go in his mouth. So what I do is I cut it right off. See where it starts to bubble? Yeah, I'll cut it. Where it started to bubble, I cut it. Now, it's trial and error. I know that this is too big, so I know if I cut the top piece off, I'm good. I don't have to worry about it. So this part, because now it's left open here, you can see if it'll fit in his mouth. It's still not going to fit in his mouth. So what I'm going to do is cut at a diagonal on each side. At each side, so you cut it as at a diagonal, and we're going to try it again. And I think that's the winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. And because it's two floppy pieces, like this and like this, you have to squish them together. I can try to, what I'll try to do is hot glue it. I don't know if it'll stay that way. You can E6000 it if you want to, or whatever. However, it's plastic. I mean, it's rubber, silicone. So you need to silicone it. Now, his eyes are really driving me nuts here. I'm going to have to wet them again and cut them because they're not doing what I want them to. So anyway, we can put a little bit of hot glue in there. Just a little dab, and you're going to hold it together. Hopefully don't burn yourself. You could use clamps or a piece of tweezers or whatever to hold it until it dries. See, it's not going to hold it. It's not going to hold it. I didn't think it would. It doesn't hold it. So you'd have to find something that will hold it. That is not going to hold it, so, which is fine. We can do that. So, and it goes in his mouth. Actually could trim it a little bit more so it fits in there a little bit better. But I'm going to let his mama do that if it's in there pretty good. So now he has two passies. She sees how I cut it, and I'll explain to her. I'll get her on FaceTime and explain it to her. So when she gets another one, and it has a little passy cover. So that's how you do the magnets to put them in. If you were doing a bow, I haven't got any hair on here. I would put a magnet on either side where I want it, and that's where it'd go, and I'd get a bow and hook probably a bunch of bows, but I mean, you get those little magnets and just make a bunch. I usually use, if it's a girl, I usually do hair ties, you know, the hair headbands. So that is it for magnets. So I hope you enjoyed that. That was pretty quick and easy, and we'll see you in the next one.